Hey, Matt.
Yes, Dave?
Remember that summer Aunt Robin joined the Avengers?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think I'm going to need to sit on this couch and you're going to need to talk to me for about like 10 seasons.
Yeah, give or take.
About how we got to that point.
And then we'll spin off and Hilary Duff will take over for the other part.
Right. In a show that I was actually very sad to see get canceled.
Was it good?
I watched. It was okay.
Okay.
It was one of those, like, it scratched the itch. And it was like, as the show went on, because it went on for 2 seasons, in that second season, I was like, all right, we're starting to find our footing a little bit. And then they killed Maria Hill in Secret Invasion, and, and everything got lost.
It's okay. She divorced Barney and all that.
That's true. What a bummer of a way to write that character.
Yeah, I just finished like a proper like rewatch of the whole thing because I had never actually seen every episode.
Of Secret Invasion?
Yeah, no, that too. How I Met Your Mother. And it was funny because I like remembered she was in it, and then by the time I actually sat down to watch our movie for the week, I completely forgot that she was in it. And then she popped up, and I was like, "Oh, what the hell are you doing here?"
Hey, well, she's here. She's there, and she's here in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for however long a time.
And she's right here.
She's right
with
here.
us. She's right here with
in
us.
Canada.
Poor Maria Hill.
Yeah,
Robin Sparkles herself.
Robin Sparkles. All right.
Well, let's get into it.
Do you want to get into it?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Welcome to a series of podcasts discussing series of films.
I'm Matt.
I'm Dave.
In a world inundated with prequels, sequels, spin-offs, and reboots, we ask the question,
do we need one more? I think we do.
I think we don't.
All right. New season,
Welcome.
Yes.
New episode.
Welcome to We Need One More, the only movie podcast where there was an idea to bring together remarkable people in hopes that they would do something more, something greater, and to fight the battles that we never could.
Those people are in the studio next door recording.
That's true.
But we got our episode out first.
Yes.
So you're welcome.
We're busy fucking around. Welcome to season 2.
Season 2.
We had a little kind of information breakdown video that we posted not too long ago.
Yeah. So if you want to know like more in depth on like what this new season's going to be about, you should go and check that out. And if you don't care, then you should just like us on all our platforms and stuff so you can keep up. We have a Patreon.
Yes.
That you guys should subscribe to if you want.
Yes.
If you want your mind to be blown about Star Wars
Yes.
Opinions.
Yes, we are talking...
Because we're fully original.
We are.
Yeah.
There will be no thought that has already been said.
We will
on
not
the internet.
repeat something that has already been said.
Never.
About this decades-long franchise with its many entries.
Listen, if you like The Last Jedi, you can listen to the episode about The Last Jedi where I will defend it. If you don't like it, please leave me alone.
If you don't like it, you should subscribe anyway so you can take on Matt in the comment section every week.
Attack me.
Yes.
Yes,
please.
We are talking Star Wars on
if
the Patreon.
If the hate is in your heart.
Yes, 100%.
You should subscribe.
We're going to be talking about that on the Patreon. One of the movies every month. We have a whole bunch of new updates and stuff that are over on that video, so feel free to check it out. We are going to jump into the episode.
Yes.
And in jumping in the episode, something we briefly touched on in the informational video, but to kind of underline here, we're adjusting the structure a little bit of the show. We're going to be talking, we'll talk a little bit about our relationship to the movie as we usually do. And the 3 points that make up the We Need One score, the quality of film, rewatchability, narrative runway, are kind of going to be the 3 acts of the show, if you will. And we'll kind of save our scores to the end, but we'll discuss the intricacies of our thoughts during the episode. So to start us off, what is your guys' relationship with 2012's The Avengers?
Spelled
with an A.
Spelled in a Cajun accent.
It's gonna show up.
A joke that is on the
I'll
YouTube
go
video.
first to also explain that.
Yes.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
So if you watch the informational video, you guys know that one of my goals this season is to log everything here in Letterboxed.
Yes.
I told myself I would do it last time. I did not do it very much at all. So I'm gonna do it, and I went to do Avengers and I spelt it Avengers and didn't notice, and it let me log it. So I think I might be the only person with a rating on Avengers, and I tagged it MCU.
You did. It's good.
I'm not deleting it.
It's good. I'm glad you did it, and I think you should keep doing it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you should keep
Just
that one.
misspell all of them.
Leave the audience guessing what we're doing.
But my relationship, man, I feel like when the new movies were coming out back in the day when I was younger, I was all about them. I did not ever think about how big they could be.
Yeah.
That was probably, as I look back at like watching Iron Man, I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, oh, this is just the start. I loved, Incredible Hulk. Say what you will. Loved it.
I'm pro of that movie too. So
Yeah. Was a huge fan. But when Avengers came out, man, was it good.
Yeah.
I was like, this is such an amazing movie.
we had
I
never
think-
seen it before. They joined forces.
They were all in the same movie and it made sense.
They
and
said it couldn't be done.
It's crazy because it felt like such a big thing back then,
It was.
which was crazy. So I'm excited for us to really break it down and talk about it now, especially 12 years later.
Yeah.
But my relationship has always been positive. I'm a huge fan of how they portray these actors, and not to sneak peek too much, but looking back, I'm like, man, they just had the chemistry.
Yeah.
Like something that may or may not be missing now in some of the movies they're trying to do, but it was just it mixed well.
Yeah.
Right on.
I agree. My kind of relationship with the movie kind of was, similar. This is one of the few movies I feel like we've talked about on the show that's like new, relatively new. We talked about like 2001 last season, which came out in the 60s. So like this is a movie that I was a teenager for when this came out. I was 11 or 12. I vividly remember after seeing the movie, leaving my last class in like 7th grade or whatever and running into a friend and being like, did you fucking see Avengers? Holy shit. Like having that conversation like outside the school. I would remember being in my history class and my teacher was talking about like what people did over the weekend and people being like, I saw Avengers. Oh, I saw Avengers. And like talking about it in the history class. As you can tell, we were very focused on our studies there.
Yeah.
So, I always grew up a superhero kid. I was like a very big superhero kid, but like I don't want to say I was more DC than Marvel because I don't think you need to like pick a side, but like
But
You
for
do,
argument's sake,
though.
could you
Yeah.
Could you pick a side?
all right, MCU
Get off the
bad,
fence, damn it.
Batman vs Superman good, but Netflix should bring back the Snyderverse. No,
You only watch the Ultimate Edition every day.
I'm really
So you
stoking
start
the
your day.
flames with people on the internet with the Last Jedi with this. No, but I was not too familiar with the Avengers, but I was familiar with the characters. I was not. I just wasn't engrossed in that part of the Marvel comics. And the Avengers weren't a huge deal in Marvel comics. They were around.
Well, it's like, it's funny. It's one of the like comics that like hasn't actually historically ever done well.
X-Men and Fantastic Four are the big teams.
Yeah.
Those are the big teams.
That was the big teams, and then like Spider-Man was always doing well and everything. But like Avengers was like, let's get all the B tier guys together and just sell one big book because it was like cost effective. And
I was not, when the movie was coming out, and I remember watching the trailers and everything, and I saw all the MCU movies leading up to it. I was at an age where I wasn't thinking about like how are they going to merge all these characters together. I was just fully in the like thrill of seeing superhero movies.
Yeah.
Because I was old enough to remember it, but not young enough to really understand the how complicated it was.
Yeah.
And then watching the movie, I remember being in the theater and thinking like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like this before.
When you say complicated, you mean in terms of like just the logistics of the movie business, or
Just
like
logistics of the movie business, like how there had never
that they were
been
gonna-
something
that they
like
were going to be
this.
doing this kind of thing?
Yeah,
Or- okay.
the
yeah,
crossover of
Same.
it had never really been done, and my brain was just not comprehending how new that was.
Yeah.
Outside of like Frankenstein meets the Wolfman kind of stuff from the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have loved this movie for a long time. Everyone, this is a pretty generally liked movie. And there are things that I have issues with, or maybe precedents that are set that I don't love, but like I do agree that there's a chemistry here, there's an energy here that even 13, almost 14 years later is 2026, right?
Yeah.
We're in
Oh, you're right.
2026,
My
so
math was off.
2012. all
so
the way,
2012 is 14 years ago.
yeah.
That Yes. Sorry to fuck you guys up.
Yeah. Thank you for
but-
reminding me of my mortality, Matt.
I'm sorry, I was thinking about it on the drive over here.
But you were doing that interstellar cry, like
Yeah, exactly.
He wanted to say something, but didn't know how to bring it up.
It's true. But even that many years later, like I think is still felt in the movie, which I think is really kind of the what makes this movie so special.
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I grew up watching superhero movies, like was big on the Spider-Man movies when they were coming out. Never in my wildest dreams, I think they were actually gonna like have them all do the team up, especially the way they were doing it. And when I found out that that was like the plan, I got like really invested in every movie that came out, or I started to get more and more invested because like Iron Man came out, I was obsessed with it. Incredible Hulk, I didn't see in theaters, but I saw it like on DVD and was obsessed with it. And that was when like you had like digital copies was like a big thing.
Yeah.
And so we bought the DVD and it came with like a digital copy, and I had that on my iPod Nano, and I would watch it on the bus home like
Sick.
every day. Like I would just watch that, The Dark Knight, and Star Trek. Because that's just what I had access to.
Fair.
And then like Thor I missed, but then that one came on DVD, and like I was a big fan of that one too. Captain America was a good time. And then they did the Avengers, and my head exploded because like finally they were all like there talking to each other, fighting together, and it was just like awesome. And so like rewatching this was like kind of a treat because it's like it just reminded me of that era, just simpler
Yeah.
times.
I thought of at the end of I want to say it's Iron Man 2, the post-credit scene of that,
Mhm.
where it's New Mexico and they find Thor's hammer and it's Coulson being like, Fury, you're going to want to take a look at this.
Yeah.
And I
It was
remember being a kid and watching that and being like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah,
Dude, back when end credit scenes mattered.
yeah, when they actually tease something that happened.
Well, it's I think what was so special about those end credit scenes is that they immediately basically led into the next thing that was
yeah,
happening.
it was literally a setup for the following movie that was like either at the end of the year or the following year. Like
Yeah.
you didn't have to wait that long. And like I remember like when Iron Man came out, I didn't know there was gonna be a post-credit scene. So I didn't even stick around for that. I didn't see that in theaters. I found out
neither
like
did I.
reading the trivia on IMDb that there was one setting up, and I went, wait, there's an extra scene and Sam Jackson's in it and he's Nick Fury and the Avengers. What? Like
Yeah.
there was so much information in one paragraph, and I had to like fly and grab the DVD off the shelf and go and like watch it. So like that was a really big deal for me because I had been like, why won't they do that? And then it was just like, well, they just don't want to. And I was like, okay, just kind of accepted that I would never get it.
Yeah.
And then I did. And here we are this many years later.
And now we're all tired.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah, we're a little tired.
I a little bit.
Now my thoughts are being criticized on the internet, so
Well, you know.
didn't think that was going to happen.
It's okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess do we want to move kind of right into
Yeah.
kind of the general discussion of quality of film, what we think works, what we think doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I forgot how much of this movie was people talking in rooms.
Yep.
It's a lot of talking, which I'm not criticizing. I actually think it kind of is what makes the movie.
It kind of is. Well,
work.
it's like what Dish was saying. It's about the chemistry. It's like watching them interact is kind of the point of the movie.
The dialogue, yeah, it's like real solid, I think.
Yeah, where they connect, where they bump up against each
Mhm.
other is, I think, what is so, is 100% what's so special about it. And, you know, the person who made this movie, I don't really want to talk about too much because of all that stuff. But, like, I will say there is a lightness to this movie that I find really there's the tone that is maintained
Yeah.
is surprising in not a way that like I've never seen it before, but in how it is able to keep itself going.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It's pretty well paced. Like he is able to hold it
Yeah.
pretty well.
I clocked that midpoint and I was like, oh.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
right when Hawkeye hits the helicarrier, right? That whole
Mhm.
thing that is the big
Yeah.
the big moment. I feel like the decision to say, okay, let's make the differences of them basically the point of the story is kind of, I think,
Yeah. Can they work together?
very smart. Maybe not groundbreaking, but certainly very smart.
Mhm.
And I think talking about that chemistry, like this movie does not work without this team.
It doesn't.
It's kind of, there's the moment after Coulson has been killed
Yeah.
that Downey and Evans are talking, you know, where Downey's like, I think he should have waited. Like, he made a mistake. He was an
Yeah,
idiot.
yeah,
I
yeah.
loved him, but he was an idiot. And Evan's bumping up against him, and Laura was in the room as I was watching and writing my notes, and I was like,
Who's that?
my fiance, my wonderful fiance. We were talking about it, and I was like, see, we don't have this anymore. It's with these guys.
You and Laura?
Yeah, I'm like, why can't we?
We don't have
She's
the
like, "What are you
chemistry
talking
anymore.
We don't
about?"
have the chemistry that they have.
Why can't we be like that?
No, but that Marvel was very.
I'm sorry, Laura.
Yeah, sorry, Laura. You know, while it was expanding itself with the Avengers, right? Everything had been so focused. There were only 5 or 6 characters because they were so directly leading into this. So they invested really heavily in those guys.
Yeah.
And so when you see those conversations in this movie, it is like, yeah, feels earned in a way, and like the chemistry is so strong that, like, as much as I love some of the things we have explored and can appreciate and enjoy the stuff we've explored in the MCU, I do feel like we've lost like who we're focused on.
It's the most recent phase. Are we in 5 or 4?
We're in
technically?
6.
I thought we were in
I
6.
We're in
think.
6?
I was gonna say I think it's 6.
Ooh,
I think
okay.
it's
I might have to
6.
do some real catching up, I think, on the side here.
Because
to-
Yeah.
We're
Quantumania
actually
was the
talking about this.
start of 5.
5. Yeah.
Was okay, and then what's the start of 6?
I think it's Fantastic Four.
Is it really? Okay.
I think so too.
At the last one of their Comic-Con announcements, I remember them being like, and here's the start of Phase 6, and it was Fantastic Four, then directed by John Watts.
Okay, well, yeah, the fact that I can't even tell what phase we're in anymore is
We've reached the
It
point
is the problem.
the
right?
comics where it's like the universe is too
it's
big.
been very unfocused since phase 4, and like, yeah, that's a whole separate conversation. Yeah. And anyway, jumping back into this, I think, yeah, like you're saying, the characters, the focus of it is good. I mean, we almost had Ant-Man and Wasp in this, and like the early
Yeah.
drafts, they were gonna make an appearance, and they got
Vision
cut.
was talked about too.
Vision has
right?
been talked about. I think Captain Marvel's been floated around a bunch around here, but I don't know that she ever got as close as the other.
He wanted
3.
to do Captain Marvel
Yeah.
a lot. He tried very hard.
They really tried to do something with that, and that happened later.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, the balancing act of all these people, and also, yeah, that you basically lock them into a helicarrier and just
Yeah.
have them
It's a good
talk
time.
about their feelings, basically, as the movie is
like,
very
watch
fun.
your tongue. That's my brother.
Yeah,
He's killed a lot of people.
He's adopted.
That line kills every time.
There's so many good lines.
There's
in
a
this where I was
lot of
like,
great
oh,
lines.
It was funny when I was watching with Alexandra. She was pointing out, like, constantly. I just kept saying, they just did such a good job with this movie.
They really did.
Like the
They
entire
did.
time, I was like, oh, that's so good. They just did such a good job with this movie.
Yeah.
And she's like, you keep saying that.
Yeah.
That's all you're saying. I was like, it's because they
You're
did
like,
such a good job.
Did I stutter?
Well, what's interesting about it too is I feel like there's like the movie is there's not a lot of like thematic arcs to the movie.
No.
There's one that I can think of, which is Downey, right? Which is will he make the hard play? Like,
Yeah.
which he inevitably does with the nuke and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That the movie's like, sometimes you have to not think about how to get out of something. You just
Yeah.
have to do the heroic thing.
Yeah.
But, and I don't say this as a knock, but the movie is just more an experiment in different people's
Yeah.
moralities. I don't know
Which
if I'm
I think
speaking
works
too broad about it, but
Because, like, the Avengers are an experiment,
yeah.
which has essentially been shut down, right? Like, they were basically like, hey, we're not doing that,
Yeah, true.
right? And then so they...
You make him the underdog.
Yeah, they come in as like this team that has been deemed, hey, it's not going to work. They come in, and the theme is like, will they work or not? Not the theme, but you know what I mean. Like
How
that.
can they?
The question
Yeah.
is like,
the-
will
the- yeah,
they
the-
work?
The dramatic question is, will they assemble and save the world? you know?
Yeah,
And
I think they do good. They
Yeah.
do a good job.
They do save the world.
Yeah.
I will say,
But not Phil Coulson.
but not Phil Coulson. But
That's
although
Nick Fury's job.
deeply integral
Yeah.
to this movie. I mean,
Yeah. My favorite part is just Nick Fury running around gaslighting everyone and like guilt tripping the hell out of everyone.
if
He's just, he just kind of believed in things like you guys, like, here's his trading cards covered in blood.
Still
Only
wet.
you guys could have
Still wet.
figured
Like
it out.
drips.
if
Yeah, that's
No biggie.
if Phil Coulson, as his last, his dying words, if he doesn't say that whole like, it's okay, they needed something before he dies. If
Yeah.
he doesn't say that, Fury doing the card thing is like way fucking uncalled
I know.
for. It's still very shady.
Yeah, it's a little shady. It's also very presumptuous that Phil Coulson thinks he matters that much, but
Good
like,
on him.
Like he does, but it's funny that he being is like sort of like
there should have been some uncertainty.
Yeah, like the fact that he's like confident that he matters
Yeah.
is like, I feel like I don't know if I buy him. I feel like him like being sort of like, no, like they'll do it. Like I believe in them. They have to. Like, and that being the line with the fact that he's like, they're gonna do it for me.
Because was he introduced in this movie? I forget.
No, he was introduced in Iron Man 1.
He was in the first Iron Man, and he's been floating because they did a short with him.
Yeah,
also
he's in Thor.
Yeah. Okay, so he floats around because
he's in Iron Man 2 a lot.
When I was rewatching it, like when I first, I've been battling all right, 14 years ago, Michael versus me watching it now.
Yeah.
Jumping back and forth between those perspectives because I feel like they're definitely different. But definitely watching it and being like, does Phil matter enough to these people?
Yeah. I think he matters to Tony.
Yeah.
I think he matters to Natasha.
Yep.
I think and I think Captain America recognizes,
Yeah, like there's a larger symbolic meaning of Phil.
Yeah. Captain America, is like everyone. Anyone
it's
who
like
died.
it's not just Phil. It's like
him.
what Phil stands for, and like
because he's just a soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hulk is kind of the one guy that doesn't seem to have any connection to him, but generally he has enough of a relationship with those that it were. And also, I remember being in the audience and when he dies.
Yeah, like we have like because we've been seeing him like get a bigger and bigger role in every entry. Like at this point,
it's a smart death in the sense that it affects kind of the main characters, but it also speaks directly to us as an audience, which is why it's so necessary, I think. I will say, and I'm not the first person to say this, but this movie does a lot of characters really well.
Yes.
I think. And then it also has Hawkeye in it.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you said that.
They definitely were like, we don't know what to do with this
Hindsight is so 2020, but yeah, say what you're going to say.
So, okay. I will start off. I'm not going to diss because I actually think Jeremy Renner is good in this role.
He is.
I will say, and I think we've talked about it, the first choice for the role was Jensen Ackles from Supernatural.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And he couldn't do it because of Supernatural, I believe.
That's crazy.
And
that show was going on to what? It's like 11th, 14th season. Like,
yeah, it went on for 15 seasons and ended, and then he's now on The Boys and all this stuff. Like, he's booked and busy, but like,
good for him.
Good for him. I don't think Ackles makes the way it's written here better, but I do think that is a casting where I'm like, oh, I think he has the energy of what this character should be.
Yeah.
Not to speak so definitively, but Hawkeye has for a long time, less so now, but still a little bit, has become kind of the joke of the team, right? That it's like, oh, he just shoots bow and arrows. He's useless, blah, blah, blah.
We were making that joke when the movie came out. It was like, what the hell is he doing there?
And then you see him in Endgame.
And you see him in Endgame. I think Age of Ultron, they try to like rectify what they do in this movie because Hawkeye, and the show does a good job of this as well, I think, and that which is based off the Matt Fraction run, the Hawkeye series.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkeye, to me, right, not at all times, but I think is at best, where he's essentially John McClane.
Yeah.
He is the guy who is like having to step on broken glass, but still fighting. He should be the underdog, the everyman. He's not like, it's not like he's the only person without powers. Natasha doesn't have powers.
Yeah.
Like, but Natasha seems to make a stronger case. Now, part of that, when we invest more time in her, she's been in more movies.
Yeah. She's a bigger star at the time too.
She's a bigger star at the time. And I think the decision to make Hawkeye shows up in Thor for 2 seconds. He has basically no dialogue, right?
He's like shadowed out too.
Yes.
The whole scene.
This is essentially his introduction.
Yeah.
He gets 3 lines, and then he's mind controlled.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back, we go right into the final battle.
Mm-hmm.
And it is that thing of like, if he's the new character, and I don't think this movie, I'm not, wanting to rewrite the movie, but it is
kind of sounds like you
interesting.
are, but
I am.
No.
Like, he could be our eyes into the story, right? He could be the guy that we follow.
Eyes is in his name.
Exactly.
I see what you're throwing.
That's
down.
what I was going for. But the decision to basically make him, not to bring up another MCU movie, but like, Captain Marvel, I think is not the same issue, but similar, where they kind of hold Brie Larson back, and in this case, hold Renner back by, Brie Larson has to play someone with no memories, which means that she has inherently really nothing to play as an actor.
Yep.
And she is an incredibly talented actor, but she's not given a lot of characterization.
No, and it's also like, it's not like Born Identity where you're like, okay, we're learning something about him without knowing the full picture, and it's all slowly going. It's sort of like a, what am I until I magically remember, and then it's all at once.
And this movie, it kind of does a similar thing where he becomes a lackey and has no real motivation or personality. And so Renner doesn't really get anything to play other than, bad. But we can't, we don't appreciate him turning bad because we have no idea what he's like as a good guy.
No, not really.
So it's like,
he seems moody. That's about it. He's just up in the thing being like, I'm looking at things. I'm looking.
Like Clint Barton is the guy, like, and the show does a really good job of this with Kate Bishop being like, I watched the Battle of New York and I saw a god and a monster and a man with a suit of armor and a super soldier and all this other stuff. And you were a regular person who was fighting for the world. And that is inspiring. And that is where that character works, I think. And I think this movie,
his character's gotten
completely just pushes him off to the side.
Well, it's like the movie's got a big task just like doing the assembling thing. And so it is funny that they like add this character in there when they've already got like 4 or 5 other guys that really need to like anchor the whole thing that have like previous entries. So it's like it makes sense why he falls to the back burner, but it is like, why is he there at all anyway? But it ends up being a good investment later, I feel like, by like Ultron, like they give him more stuff to do to help like ground everything, and so it ends up being like a really good investment on their part. But that was probably an accident.
It definitely, Ultron definitely feels like, oh, we're sorry we didn't do anything with Hawkeye.
Yeah.
They even reference it in the movie with the mind control thing. And I think, part of what makes, everyone has said this of like, oh, you like have to have 5 movies to lead up to a team up movie. I don't necessarily agree with that because Guardians of the Galaxy exists. But with this, it's like, you do have the benefit of everybody knows everybody. So you can just have them play off of each other. But why not throw in Hawkeye as a wild card of who is this guy?
Yeah.
What does he mean to the team? All this other stuff. And I as much as I love a lot of the stuff that they do with his characters, if we're talking about quality of film and things that are written well and underwritten, Hawkeye is, I think, wasted a lot.
I feel like one piece that really stood out this time, and maybe it's like, again, the hindsight of like knowing where it goes and having the last 14 years of MCU, the whole dynamic between him and Black Widow, and like, I got red in my ledger, and it's like, or blood in my ledger or whatever, right? Red. Like it just kind of fell flat for me. Like it felt like back in the day, I was like, oh, what does that mean?
Yeah,
like, what is that?
Yeah, because now we've sort of, I mean, did we ever really figure that out?
We did. It was killing
kind of
the daughter.
Okay, that's right.
It is that, but like, even when I was rewatching this, I was like, what are they talking about? And it's like, how does that act ground her to him? And it seems like it should have opened up more clarity beyond that. But even looking back, I was like, is that connected? Like,
they bring up stuff where Natasha brings up that, she was this villain, essentially. She was a super spy and a mercenary, an assassin. And Clint had an order to kill her and decided not to, right? They say this in the movie, and that he kind of helped
she owes him her life, right?
Which is a strong connection. But unfortunately, the audience doesn't have that connection because we don't fucking know who Clint Barton is.
Yeah.
So
we barely know who Natasha is, to be honest, at this point still.
It's true. And so making that dynamic so relevant is not something that I don't think shouldn't be explored, but it's probably too early to be explored because you have to have a connection. It's why the Coulson death works, as we know.
Exactly. Yeah. It's that thing of, they probably thought they were going to do that Black Widow solo film a lot sooner, and it just kept getting pushed.
Maybe
it should have come out chronologically, I believe.
Yeah.
I personally believe, but
it's fair.
That's
totally fair.
Another episode.
True.
Later.
So like,
I think it's that thing of like, it kind of connects them and it helps give us an understanding of what she's fighting for in this adventure. But to your point, it's like, it's such a big lore drop almost without actually talking about it. So it's just almost like distracting.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it isn't super
Yeah.
evocative
It's
at
like-
the time of it coming out, I think.
It feels like they had to
I mean,
drop
the internet
it.
was having fun, like wondering what that was, because we also didn't know if they were like love interests with each other, or if they were
Right.
just coworkers. Like, and then
Sure.
it wasn't until Age of Ultron did we find out that they like were literally just friends.
Yeah.
But like there was like a big like ellipses on that relationship, and it was like, oh, we don't know what's gonna happen, kind of thing.
I feel like they
Um,
also had to do the drop of like her backstory for the scene with Loki.
Yeah.
When she gets it out of him, because he's like, he gets on her about it and is like Dracov's daughter, and like brings
Yeah,
it up
yeah,
that
yeah.
he knows.
Can
and,
you wipe all that out?
and then she's like, oh, so that's your plan, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
total play. But it feels like they had to like throw that in there and seed it a little bit so that when it gets there, she can pretend to have weakness.
I think it's well integrated into the script. I think
Right.
it's just the audience. What connection do I have an audience? What are you offering me to connect to these characters to have the turn mean something?
Matt, they're really good looking people.
Well, that is true. That is very true. Everybody here is. I literally have a note in my
We've assembled the most good looking people in all of Hollywood at the moment.
Wait, I need to pull this up. Give me one sec. I have to find, because if we're talking about them all being good looking, we can
was
cut
to
this
say-
part out of the episode.
Yeah, but as that comes up, maybe some last thoughts on quality before moving on. But
Do we?
I'm just singing now.
We
Tones,
talk a little.
tones.
I'm gonna ignore the hot thing. To be honest, I couldn't find it. I think it's more important to talk about quality.
It probably is. Yeah, I mean, it's a
what is it?
it's a this is a movie that works really well and I think it is hinged on the chemistry and stuff. And to your point, yeah, I think Hawkeye's a little underwritten. I've always thought the pacing kind of varies throughout the movie, but generally it's pretty good. I feel like editing has not been one of the MCU's like stronger points.
Sure.
I feel like it really varies from movie to movie. But I think some of the problems that end up like sort of bogging down the MCU start here.
For sure.
But it's like, because the movie's so successful in what its original intention is, it's like very easy to like overlook it because I'm having so much fun while we're doing it.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like one of the things I've always thought was like funny is like the way they introduce all the characters. They kind of just like show up. They're just like there. Like Hawkeye's just like, where is he? Oh, he's right there. He's right here. Oh, what's Iron Man doing? We're here.
They do.
You know, we just kind of like, I feel like the only person who has like a real like build up is like Cap, where it's like the shot coming up from behind him and stuff. And he's like boxing and stuff. And we're sort of like, I feel like he's the only one that has like a real introduction almost.
I
Um,
agree. It's interesting because in the script, in the dialogue, they transition from character to character through the dialogue of like with Evans, right?
Yeah.
When he's walking away, they say you should have left it at the bottom of the river. Cut to bottom of the river.
yeah.
So there's a
Yeah, it's sort of like a
written
thing, but there's
transition.
not like a visually
I agree.
interesting. They don't do it in the most visually interesting way. It is sort of like a
It just
very
cuts.
base. It's just kind of a basic coverage kind of thing of like, and like you really could like build up the bottom of the ocean. Like where are we? There's a light in the distance. It's Iron Man, but it's just like
Yeah.
water. There he is. Like
For-
like a lot of that kind of thing. I've always thought that was a little bit underwhelming, especially on this like rewatch and stuff like that. But I mean, once you get to the third act, man, when they like assemble,
It is.
it's so cool, man.
It's a good example of end your movie
and it
strong.
will never be not cool.
I will say, talking about your kind of the look of everything and talking about quality, for all the pros that this movie has, and it has a lot, I do think that it is not shot super well. It's
Yeah.
shot fine.
Yeah,
But
but it also seems like the tables, we don't really have a lot of time to spend on each shot, kind of.
It's this is also, they started shooting the Marvel movies digitally with Iron Man 2, I want to say. The other ones have been shot on film, and I don't think switching to film necessarily is the answer to this problem, but this movie is like hyper sanitized, I think, visually. I
Yeah,
think it causes some sets to look a little not fake, but like
but they look like sets.
it looks a little bit like a theme park attraction at times. Despite my again, a lot of the love I have for it, it does,
Yeah,
and this makes sense, and we've talked about it off mic in the past. This movie does just kind of look like a really well produced episode of TV.
Kind of, yeah. It looks like the most expensive episode in television.
I think the visual effects look great, right?
The visual
I think
effects are very good.
ILM
There's actually a lot of little details that they have, like especially with the Hulk, like when he's like jumping around.
Hulk
and,
looks
like,
incredible.
like he gets like clipped by one of the aliens when he's like jumping. Like it's a little like you can feel like the sort of spontaneousness of the character, and it makes him feel more real. And that stuff's all really good. And it's like funny because we're talking about the cinematography, but the cinematographer was Seamus McGarvey, who did like Atonement and Nocturnal Animals and like The Darkest Hour. And he's like an extremely competent cinematographer. And it's just like you can kind of feel that like he does not have the time
this movie
to do what he needs to do.
Totally. It, like you were saying earlier, this creates the kind of the Marvel isms.
Yeah.
And the
so this is like the
very
first one
similar.
that Disney's producing, because before they were sort of Marvel produced
with
Paramount distribution.
Yeah.
And this one sort of gets the Disney like overlook.
Yeah.
Or overlook.
It's a little
it gets Disney.
The dust.
It looks like a
the
Disney
pixie
movie.
dust, yeah.
Which is I've always thought was a little disappointing because it's like it could have like had like the grit of like Pirates of the Caribbean. Probably, but also the movie probably wouldn't have worked quite that well. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like those movies are a good balance of adventure and funny and seriousness.
I just wish there was a choice with the visuals as opposed to it looking like that. And then in the sequel, and we'll talk about this next week, but like, you know, they're like, well, let's make it look cinematic. And it's like, what does that mean? It's like, well, what if it was more blue? Like it falls into the blue era of movies. You know, so that is something that has always kind of stuck out a little bit for me, is that visually it's a little whatever, despite it being engaging. And there are interesting sequences. The whole one take with them all working together in the Battle of New York is very fun.
It's very cool.
I think some of the fights are some fights are well edited and some fights I think aren't.
The
Thor Loki fight I think is quite poor.
That one's pretty poor. I think Cap v Loki's pretty crap.
Yeah.
I enjoy all the interactions. I enjoy sort of the build up. I hate Cap's cowl.
Yeah.
In this one, this is the worst he's ever looked.
The suit,
it looks pretty good when he's got that with the mask off, but that like apparently gave him migraines and everything, which I'm like, no wonder they keep like when the aliens like ripping it off in that one fight. I'm like, yeah, I would have done that too.
Yeah.
If I was Chris Evans, I'd be begging to have that part removed.
It's an interesting. It looks good when the cowl's off.
It does
for the most part.
Yeah, like the actual like body of the suit is pretty good, but then once you like put the mask on, it looks. He looks.
The costume design for this movie is not my favorite.
No,
it's not.
We had to start somewhere, I guess.
We did, and there are
of
things
course
that
you know
I like.
He looks a lot better in his actual movie, so it's just sort of like maybe just grab that one and keep going.
Yes, and to Cap as a character, I think he's pretty okay in this movie. I think Evans does a lot with it.
They're still trying to struggle to know what to do with him.
There are moments where I feel like the dialogue is almost not talking down to him, but it feels like it's doing a little. It's not too corn. It's hard. I don't know how to fully verbalize this, but which is great for a podcast. But Evans is making it earnest, but there's a lot of G. Willikers kind of stuff.
There's like funny, like it's like funny that like Thor has like a lot of like they make him sound very Shakespearean.
Yes.
Like Loki's got that very like,
which I think
I
works.
am a villain and I will do my big monologue now. And you know, like Natasha's like, I'm a spy. I talk like a spy. You know, and
she's
everyone. It's funny that like the chemistry is really good, but these characters kind of are like a little one dimensional in terms of like the style that they have.
They're kind of like kooky comic book.
Yeah, and like it's a little comic booky, which is I guess not necessarily criticism. I guess just to point it out, but
is a comic book movie. But
it's a thing that they're gonna get better at as like the movies go on, in like phase 2 and stuff and phase 3. Like I feel like they really lock down how these people behave.
Yeah,
and I think that's like becomes one of the strongest points for the first like big chapter of everything. But it's like funny to see like how like. You can kind of tell they haven't quite figured out like how they're
written.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Yeah.
So do we want to move into rewatchability then? Kind of the things that are fun and the things that we kind of stand out for us in terms of sequences and all that stuff.
Yes.
Skybeam. I don't knock this movie. It's 2012. This is basically one of the
Is
first.
this the first Skybeam?
It's not the first, but it's one of them.
Yeah, because I mean, there was a movie called like Skyline that was just Skybeam, I think, the whole time. But
by the time we get to like 2014, 2015 is when it's like are we really fucking doing
done like
this
30
again?
of these now.
Like when it gets to Fan 4 Stick, which we've talked about on this podcast before.
Yes, we have.
Once we get to there, it's like
Fan 4 shit.
We're gonna do another Skybeam, really? We're gonna be so bold and tap this well again?
Yeah, it kind of feels like the guy's an elf pitching like a story. Like we bring in Miles Teller.
Yeah. I will say things that I love in terms of like the rewatchability of this. Man, the Hulk is good in this.
Hulk is great.
Yep.
The Hulk is maybe my standout of the movie.
It is unfortunately tragic how flanderized he's become over the years and underutilized and
Ruffalo
stuff.
is fucking on the money in this movie.
He's so
dude.
good, and he's got this like this balance of like mysterious confidence and also like what's happening here. Like he just seems like a guy who's like always like assessing every situation he's in, and then like in the later stuff he's straight up like who, what, huh? Like
I think he can, dare I say it, he's kind of hot in this movie.
he is.
He's a little hot.
When he's just like you're lying, and then she's like gone, and he's like, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just joking.
That was mean. I shouldn't have done that. You're
Just
just
a
like
silly, goofy
"Damn,
guy."
dude." You're just almost just getting shot in the face.
No, I think Ruffalo. It's Hulk is, I think he has the most fun action.
Yeah.
I think the sequences with him and Nat have like really, they're like that sequence where he transforms in the Hulk has such good tension.
It does.
You can tell that they're having fun with that. You can tell
Yeah.
which characters this movie is having fun with and which ones it's not having fun with.
Yeah, well, it's like that. They're like, it's like I remember Joss Whedon said that when like they got into Ultron that he really wanted to like get some people with like crazier power sets because he was like, we just have like guys that punch things.
Sure.
Generally, like Thor has the hammer, but that's still just like an extension of the punch. He's got the lightning, so he's like always trying to get that in there. But it's like funny that like by Winter Soldier, they're like, yeah, but like how crazy can the punch be? Like and stuff. I feel like they're just like the punch can like that. There's a lot of like variation to be had with that. It's funny that he's like, I feel like they really took that as a challenge later.
Totally.
Yeah, like Hulk's got some great sequences. One of the like beats that I always love is when he's like going on the rampage and the one like jet shows up and starts like trying to shoot him and he's like, oh shit, ejector seat. It's like poof, just immediately like
Holds onto him.
snatched like out of the sky. Like it's
do
like
people
LeBron
shoot?
catching a basketball with one hand, you know? You're just like,
Fuck yeah.
whoa.
Why do people still shoot at the Hulk?
But yeah, that catch will never not be terrifying. Like there's an energy that he has that is like
Right.
not to be trifled with.
I remember
and-
first seeing that.
Yeah, I remember it kind of making me jump a
like,
little bit. So
you're
he's gonna
like-
fucking break that guy.
I know. You're
just
like,
pooped my pants.
you're like that guy's gonna be eaten whole in front of us. Like
Yeah.
I think he's gonna eat him. And then he kind of gets away. But yeah, no, there's a lot of fun they have with the Hulk, clearly, and it's like they're definitely having more fun with him than they are like Captain America and some of the fight sequences because it's like,
yeah.
I don't know, can you do a flip? Like,
Iron Man, they have a lot of fun with. My theory, because I think the writer of this movie probably sees himself in Iron Man a little bit.
Possibly.
I think that's probably how that guy talks in real life.
Probably.
So,
Yeah.
so that's probably where he's having a lot of fun with that.
Okay, I do have a big question though regarding Iron Man and his characterization. Triangle arc reactor, circle arc reactor. This is an important character-driven question.
That's so true, and thank you for asking it. I don't have much of a preference. I like the triangle.
I love the triangle.
I was gonna say triangle.
I'm
I
a
think it is
slut for the
kinda
triangle.
cool.
Look, the circle's iconic. Like I'm never gonna say that's bad because it's not. It's awesome. The triangle's so slick though.
There is both the suits in this movie I think are really cool.
They're fantastic. I love them all.
I mean this is more for later stuff, but I like that we are planting the seeds of the suit becoming more modular and like more
Yeah.
like accessible for him,
Yeah.
like with the little pod that jumps out. I think the suit up sequence in that is really great, where it's
It
lining
is.
up with his bracelets and everything.
Yeah. He should be a corpse flying out that window because he is human and those are
The second
Hitting
he
the
makes
floor
glass.
that
I
Top
was
floor
like,
glass-
wait a second.
I literally went and like wasted like that.
Like dead. He went like nearly head or back first.
Yeah.
Like that was.
I think he
like-
hits
yeah.
it like with the back of his neck. Like he
Yeah,
should
he's
absolutely be dead.
it's when he's in the suit and he does the turn.
Yeah.
People have been like, yes, that's an exosuit, but your body would become jelly. if you turned at that velocity.
Like even when he's like flying in the helicarrier and he like restarts like the propeller and stuff, like and he gets like caught up
underneath.
I'm like, yeah, you should be just a bag of like guts.
Yes.
Like that should be
Comic
like
books.
a like
yeah,
this should,
it's a movie. Who cares?
Yeah, I know it's a movie. It's like it's just funny because my brain was like,
I can't.
You got bigger worries than the shrapnel, Tony. Like
I can hear the CinemaSins guy in the back of my head, and I'm like, you shut the fuck up! Like
no,
every
honestly,
time that happens.
God, I saw a post that was like, CinemaSins really did ruin how we watch movies, and I was thinking about that a lot while watching this.
Yeah, I agree, and not to go into some tangent, but it makes people worry too much about that little like. I hear people on the internet do stuff like that where they're like, "That's a plot hole," and I'm like, "That's not what that is. You don't understand what plot holes are."
Yeah,
like,
it's not. Well, it's like the Star Wars thing with like Harrison Ford, and then they get out of the trash compactor and they're all wet, and,
Yes.
and Mark Hamill was like freaking out about it, and he was just like, "Kid, it ain't that kind of movie."
Yeah,
like it's just
If
like
they're
no, we're
focused
like
on
here to
our-
have fun, you know.
What else he's like, if they're focusing on our hair, we have a lot worse things to worry about.
Yeah, it's like
it's like doesn't matter, man. Like it can matter at times given certain things, but when you're in a world like the Avengers, I don't give a shit. And it's fun to talk about, but it's like
it's fun.
What
Especially
what
when the
weight does it
movie
have?
is actually bad, then those are just like extra ammo.
Yeah, it's so true, and thank you for saying that.
That's how I always viewed it. Like those things I don't care about unless I think the movie is really bad. Then I rip on that because it's just too much.
I think
that
you
movie
can-
owes me my time back. So
movies can get away with
me
certain
specifically
things.
because the universe revolves around me.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you for acknowledging that.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate that.
I know. I send him a text every morning. I just
Yeah,
just
you're
let him
like
know.
you are the center, and I'm like,
It's true.
I feel like that turned off a lot of people.
No.
The views are like going down.
It's a bit.
It's a bit.
In terms of enjoyability or rewatchability, are there things that I mean, the whole third act of this movie is certainly
Third act rips.
rewatchable.
I think the first two acts there is a little bit of a pacing issue. And to your point, it is a lot of like talking and in rooms. And again, it's like that era where they haven't quite figured out like how everyone walks and talks, but that doesn't mean there aren't moments where they're like that are like hitting.
Sure.
So it's like I kind of went in and out on this like rewatch. And I think part of it is just I've seen this movie a lot. I've watched clips a lot. And so it was kind of hard to like. I also think I just had a lot of coffee when I sat down to do this one like early. I think it was just like I really enjoyed it, but I did kind of struggle attention span wise on it. And I mean, I have ADHD, so that could just be like a whole other separate thing. So I don't know if it's super relevant, I guess. But
I will say in terms of like moments where I felt like really like locked in terms of like rewatching it was I mean, it's a scene that has been talked about, but the scene where they all start arguing with each other and Ruffalo ends up holding the spear, like that scene it has inspired a billion fan edits of like, you're not the guy to make the hard call. Like, I think I just cut the wire. Like all that fucking shit.
My favorite part of that is when they're like, Banner, do you want to put the spear down? And when it cuts wide, the way he's like his pants and his shirt combo and like the way he's like, he looks really tiny.
I agree. He looks like he's 5 inches tall.
He looks like a little kid holding like a stick, and they're like, put that down, boy.
It's very mom, I threw up stance. It's very...
and I always think it's just like funny because like, I mean, he's not like, I mean, he's how tall is Mark Ruffalo? Do we know?
I don't know. When he's the Hulk, real big.
Hey,
but no coat.
No coat. No coat.
No coat. If only we got Joe Fixit.
I know.
Do you know Joe Fixit? Joe Fixit is a version of the Hulk that wears a big trench coat and like works as like I think a PI.
Yeah.
And
I think he's like exactly what we're looking for in the Big Coat Club.
Look at him. Look at that guy. You got to see him with the suit. Tell me that's not Joe Fixit.
Joe Fixit is that's amazing.
I have
we don't know what to do with the Hulk. What if he was a private eye?
I have a shrine to Joe Fixit in my room, just waiting
for
him to make his way. Yeah, it rules. It's the best. I can't wait for the day that happens. I don't think it will happen, but I hope it does. Yeah, I think all the bits. I think what this movie does well in terms of like what makes it so rewatchable is those little moments between the characters, like with Coulson, the cellist in Portland and all that stuff.
Yeah,
where it's they walk in and down. He's like, "I'll fly you to Portland. Don't worry about it." Like all that. Those little embellishments.
Security breach.
Yes, his security breach is really good. I mean, Downey's fucking.
Downey's
superstar,
kind of on
man.
fire. He's also had like the most like practice, I guess, getting ready for this one. So.
That's true. It does. It's a credit to the movie's success as well. Like, it helps to have 4 movie stars like Sam Jackson. I recognize the council's decision, but considering it's a stupid ass decision, I am choosing to ignore it.
Yeah,
like
great moment.
one of those things where
So
it's
many
like,
lines like that.
you just have like such
Bet
presence.
you $10 there's better. Or what's the line? Bet you $10 you're wrong.
Yeah,
He
it's
hands
like
him
I've
the
seen
10
everything.
later.
I think about that
Yeah.
post where someone like went to the bathroom when they had the exchange about the money, and then just later Steve Rogers handed him $10 and they didn't know what was going on.
Like,
He
what
thought
did he mean?
he just laughed really hard because he thought it was like an old person thing.
That's really funny.
Um,
Yeah, I think those little embellishments are the things that make the movie so fun to watch
Yes.
because it humanizes them, and it
Mhm.
also makes it feel like people are having conversations outside of the scenes that are happening.
Yeah.
I think sometimes big franchise movies like this can feel very plotty,
Yeah.
and this one certainly has that in some respects, but it is a little more
Mhm.
casual, which I think is really strong for this movie. And then I think they kind of take the wrong lessons in subsequent films.
Possibly, yeah. It's a good hangout movie.
It is a very good hangout movie.
It's like kind of fun to like watch with people.
You just
I
kind of
think.
vibe with it.
Yeah, you just vibe with it. You can have a side conversation. Then when the funny bits happen, you quote it.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's aged well.
I
I
agree.
think
think it has.
time wise and going back and looking at it, I had so much fun rewatching it. I was like, this is still such a solid movie, and the cast is like doing so well together. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I can't go this long without watching it again because like
yeah,
it's so fun.
it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we can't talk about what makes this movie so entertaining without talking about Tom Hiddleston as Loki.
Yep.
I know I said the costume design was kind of iffy. I think his costume rules.
Yeah, dude, that helmet is sick as hell.
Love them committing to that helmet.
I remember when it first happened, and he had because he had the horns in Thor, but they're shorter. They're not as
So,
crazy in that one, and in this one, they're just like woo.
He looks wild.
He
It
does.
rules. Yeah, I think Hiddleston, in terms of rewatchability and revisiting
Mhm.
characters over and over again, like Avengers makes the case for why Loki was kind of like the third main character.
Well, it
of
was
the
like funny that
MCU.
he just stuck around for every other movie was coming
Yeah.
back. Like
Everyone loves him. How do we keep putting this guy in things?
yeah. Did you ever catch up on Loki?
Yeah, it rules. It's the
It's
best.
so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, season 1's a little like up and down, but like really fun. And then season 2 is just like one of the best things I've ever seen.
The finale of season 2, I remember watching it because I
Some
don't think
damn good television.
you had caught up. You hadn't caught up on it. A few friends hadn't caught up on it, and it was one of those things where like the Marvel burnout is understandable.
It was bad.
But I was going around, and I don't know if you remember this. I was going around to people and being like, "You have to watch Loki season 2. It's actually very good."
I know. Yeah, when I finally got around to watching it, my head exploded. I was like, that last episode is so good.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's said in Thor, but it is said here, that line "burdened with glorious purpose,"
Yeah.
which I think is such a wonderfully
Yeah.
arrogant line.
I am burdened with glorious porpoise, and he's
Yeah.
got the dolphin.
Yeah, and he just flops like
My other
a
favorite meme from 2012.
Piacon.
He's got Piacon.
Dude, if only. This would make it a
Yeah.
5-star movie for me. if
My
Piacon
Loki,
was in it.
my cap.
If it was like I mean, it does have a space whale of sorts. The
This is
Chitauri
true.
things are kind of space
Yeah,
whales.
yeah.
I will say, there are some outs in this movie that are a little easy. Loki's spell, just bump people on the head and they're
Yeah, just give
cured.
him a little bump on the noggin. Make
Blow
him
up
forget about the magic.
blow up one ship, everybody dies.
Very fancy menace of them.
It is, and I don't. Again, it's one of those things where like the movie is entertaining enough that you're willing to
Yeah.
ignore that stuff, and it's not a plot hole kind of thing. It's just a we're dealing with the repercussions of, like, this person is evil, or there's all of these numbers, and it's like, hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, it just
We
kind
did
of
the one thing we needed to do, which was to blow up the mothership.
we got to keep the movie going. So
Yeah,
she
yeah,
hits
yeah.
him really hard on the head,
Yeah.
and he's fine.
Yep.
Not saying that I need to see like the exorcism of Clint Barton, but
No.
like,
Okay, that sounds kind of cool though.
well, look, I'm just saying. No, but
Okay, we get Catherine Hahn.
but it is a little easy. But then the movie continues on with another
Yeah.
sequence, and you kind of are like, okay, that's fine. If we had to get here,
Yeah.
I'm having a good time.
My favorite's that all of the whale things have Thanos grills.
Yes.
but like his chin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do have that, don't
It's
they?
like they looked at his chin and then went, "What of my teeth did that?"
That hey, you know. Another great bit I will say with the whales is the whole Jarvis. Do you know the story of Jonah? I
I
wouldn't
was thinking
consider
about
him a
that,
role
yeah.
model.
Dude, the shot of him flying in is sick as hell. That's such a great shot.
Again, the visual effects, and this speaks to
ILM kicked ass on this one.
they had time
They had time.
and they had resources.
They did.
Something that
it
teams
really
don't
is
have
like
anymore.
part of what I think makes like all the like really bad CGI that we get in phase 4, 5, and 6. Like every time something like that happens, like anything from Quantumania, it's just like, dude, like look at what you were doing years ago. Like look what we're like expecting, and you're doing this, and you think you like
It is, and
you think we're not going to notice? Like,
I see people talk about it all the time that it is like CGI is worse, and it's like it's not worse, but there is a production line that has
Yeah.
only been exasperated because these movies have been so successful.
Yeah.
So their thinking is make more, which I'm not gonna get on my soapbox. I'm not gonna talk. There's a broader conversation to have about this specific thing, but because of that, they just offer. We're getting less for essentially more or the same, and so that is what I think really caused that Marvel burnout that you see is that it's like, well, if I'm getting 1,000 things and they
Yeah.
all look like shit, like what am I doing? You know, like
Yeah.
why am I engaging in this? And then that bubble bursts, and now you have them really trying to focus back up, and they're fixing stuff, and I'm glad they're fixing stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, the visual effects workers should continue their efforts to unionize. But yeah, so I think that's where the issue of why movies, specifically Marvel movies, haven't looked so good. And then you go back and you watch The Avengers, and you're like, "Fuck, man, this movie looks great. Like the Hulk looks wonderful. The all that stuff. Like I think the Chitauri look pretty good.
They do.
Like they're pretty fun. It's just outside of the visual palette that we talked about earlier, but just the sheer construction and
the
and
actual
craft.
construction, the design choices, the production value of this movie is really cool.
Yeah, and it
Um,
feels big. Like
yeah.
know,
It feels like the biggest movie of that summer,
despite a lot of it taking place on a helicarrier.
Yeah.
Which is not a knock, but just something that I recognized again that I was like, this kind of really mainly takes place on the helicarrier.
Yeah, I thought it was actually funny. I remember when I was sitting in theaters and then like the propellers came out and they were going to sky. I was like, duh, the helicarrier. Like I was just like, how did I not think that wasn't going to show up? Like it just like it hit me like when they were in the sky. I was like,
of course. I agree.
I felt so dumb like when it happened.
And I will say, I do think this movie is still. I know we talked about some of the isms. Like this movie is funny. I think some of the jokes maybe are a little much.
Some of them.
But again, it seems like it's like this works with this specific filmmaker because that's what they do.
That's like his style too. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that every movie should have that quality.
No, I want every single movie to be exactly like this, Matt.
Well, I can't say anything to that, I suppose. And obviously, it's a little too late to be saying now because we've gotten 10 years of it. But
yeah.
But you know, in looking at these podcasts and talking about things that we think are strong and things to hold on to, like I like to think about it as like lessons we take away in movies that we hope to make and stuff like that. And it is that thing of recognizing a singular filmmaker's skills is singular to that filmmaker.
Yeah.
And other people should be allowed to offer their voice to a universe. That's what makes a universe interesting.
Yep.
Is not like what makes Avengers, this movie, so fun is getting to see these different personalities clashing.
Yeah.
Right? If they all were stoic or if they were all snarky like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't be fun.
No,
like
it'd kind of be a mean movie probably.
Like Tony doesn't make the same jokes that Steve makes, and Steve doesn't make the same jokes that Thor makes, and that is what makes it fun. And that lesson should be put onto the films as well. Like the films should not have the same style of jokes because it doesn't make sense for those characters to have the same style of jokes.
Yeah.
I think we're all. Hopefully I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
I understood that.
Thank you. The flying monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
he hadn't seen Wicked yet, but
he hadn't. What do you mean she defies gravity? And they're like, well,
he puts it down in the book. He's like, interesting.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, Fiero. What's that about? That guy's super
I'm
hot.
feeling some way about this.
Yeah, he writes it in his Winter Soldier notebook.
The end of Endgame
Just
is him like
Fiero, and there's 6 question marks. Anyone else have any kind of big kind of things that they want to talk about in terms of things they enjoy and things that are they find rewatchable about this?
No, nothing that we haven't already said. It's just the movie's a ton of fun.
It is a ton of fun.
Again, at this point, it's like super nostalgic too to go back to when everything was kind of working,
and to look back at like what people were wearing in 2012. Hawkeye's outfit at the end of this movie is goofy as hell.
Yes,
the like leather jacket with the hoodie and then the shades. Even in 2012, I remember being like, he looks kind of weird. And now watching it now, I'm like, he looks silly.
Those shades are for sure back though. I've seen them around.
Oh, they are back. That was his whole like his toy. Like not to talk about like the toys too much about this movie, but when the action figures and stuff were coming out, that like all the artwork had Hawkeye in his Hawkeye costume with those sunglasses.
That was like his mask basically.
Like
that's the uniform is a pair of Ray-Bans.
I don't know if it was like Renner didn't approve his likeness. I don't know what it was, but like
they needed to throw some glasses on him.
Yeah, they just threw some shades on him, which I love some shades.
I bet you they just didn't want to waste paint on like eye color or something. Like
I don't know. I literally don't know what it is. But
then again, I think there were like Black Widow action figures. So
there were.
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
There must have been.
I feel like they were just like, let's make him look more superhero, and like the shades was like all they could come up with.
Or like Hawkeye, because Hawkeye traditionally has a much different outfit with a mask. And so they're like, I guess as opposed to a mask, he'll wear shades. Well, it shows up in Hawkeye briefly. As like a goofy thing.
I don't believe you.
Did you see Hawkeye?
I actually didn't. No,
it's fun. You should.
That was exactly where my burnout took over, and I just stopped watching things.
Hawkeye's a good time. I had
which sucks because I did hear it was good, and I was like,
Hawkeye's a good time.
But I've been trying to make my rounds and go back to stuff, and so that one I'll probably do that one next.
Set during Christmas, so if you want to watch it around Christmas time, you can do that.
I'm too late.
It's all right. It'll happen again. Happens every year.
Thank God.
Just to let you know. Didn't know if you knew that.
Nope, I didn't. I just learned that for the first time.
Well, congratulations. We learn something on every episode, don't we?
Yes.
Moving to narrative runway.
Yes.
Where do we feel like this movie has narrative run? Like, does it offer something outside of? Not that this doesn't equate to our score, but outside of the Avengers were cool. We want to see them fight again.
Well, are we including the Thanos post-credit scene in this movie?
I would say yes.
Then yes, I guess technically there is some narrative runway and some loose ends of like, and even if they didn't have that, I guess you have that question of like, well, who is really sending the Chitauri? Like, what is like the master plan here?
Sure.
Loki's still technically out there, you know?
I think even without, what was I going to say? Oh, without the hindsight of like knowing where it goes, I think it totally does. I think that they seed it well with like, Cap is starting to figure out time, right? Like the man has out of time and all that kind of stuff. Like he's starting to figure out. And then Tony's like such a man of just like, I'm always moving forward. I'm making the next thing. We get to see his new suit. You know, his next movies are coming out, like all these suits and stuff, right? And then like, I think the two that we've already kind of talked about, right? Like even Natasha and Hawkeye just kind of being like, that was cool. I want to see more though. Like, sure, let's see where they're really at. But like Thor and the whole Loki situation, right? Like, okay, what's gonna happen there? And then Hulk, like, we haven't gotten another Hulk movie, but like,
no.
You want one.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what's he up to? I feel like a little bit less than Iron Man and Captain for me, but yeah, like that's where I think that there's narrative runway in the characters alone, personally. And then obviously you get Thanos, and you're like, oh, okay, there is more. Like there's something else going on. And then that beautiful, beautiful long trail that we got leading through the phases for sure.
Yeah, I think it's interesting talking about narrative runway with the MCU of like, how do they explore it? They can explore it independently, but also what is the narrative runway for the Avengers as a team?
What we're here to talk about.
Which, well, I mean, it's both are fair, but like, there is a line at the end of the movie rewatching it that it was like, Fury talks about how much of a statement it was. That the Security Council is like, it feels a bit more like a statement. He's like, yeah, that like the world now knows that they're here. Every world knows that they're here. That it is almost this, that the Avengers is almost a movie of them acknowledging themselves to the rest of space.
Yeah.
That this movie feels like the Avengers are essentially going, hey, we're here and we're here to stay, like to the rest of space. And what is the repercussions of that, right? And that isn't something that is explored in the sequels, at least in Age of Ultron isn't really explored. I suppose it gets brought back up in Infinity War, but it is Thanos in this one. It'll be Thanos again.
Yeah.
Like I do kind of would be very excited to see an Avengers movie that is about like what their place is in space, like in the cosmos, because it feels like that movie is asking that question partially, that they're opening themselves up to that consequence. But we maintain the line of, we're more focused on the line of like, who is this guy Thanos? He is the overarch set up to be some kind of threat for future films. So they do a good job in that.
Yeah.
And I agreed. I think with all the characters, I mean, not to talk about this, I guess to talk about other Marvel movies, like I think Iron Man 3 does a lot of exploring with like what happens when you're a regular man and you fire a nuke into space. Like, how does that change you as a person? And Tony kind of having PTSD with all that, I think is very fun.
Yeah.
I think Captain America's character arc long term is like one of my favorite.
Yeah.
It's
looking
really
back,
good.
and
The
I was like,
writing
this
for
is
Cap
so
just gets
good.
better and better and better with
Yeah.
every entry for him.
For still always staying God's righteous man type of thing, right? Like throughout the movies, but seeing him who he was like fresh out of the ice to like where he is now and everything, it's like so satisfying.
I think it also helps with him that like the creative team that was writing for Cap kind of stuck around the longest.
Yeah, they did.
Like the Russos show up, like Marcus and McFeely write First Avenger and Winter Soldier and Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, it's helpful having like the same. They like almost became like showrunners along with the Russos of like the whole thing. And
outside of two of his appearances, Avengers 1 and Avengers 2,
Homecoming,
they have, and briefly Homecoming, they have the same people writing him. So he has the most consistent through line.
Yeah.
Which is super helpful and really nice.
Yeah.
I think
if only Thor could benefit from something like that.
Thor is, God bless Chris Hemsworth, man.
Yeah.
He's doing his best.
I still have not watched Love and Thunder.
You should. Hot take.
I probably will, because as we dive into this and as we get ever closer to Doomsday, I think I will be spending this year catching up on the phase 4 and 5 and stuff that I haven't seen.
Yeah, it does seem
as much as possible, because it just I'm behind. The burnout was so real. I just dropped out, and it's like,
that's fair.
It's like funny as we're talking about narrative runway and stuff, that like one of the really cool rewards for this, and one of the things that's really good about this movie, is that even if you hadn't seen Iron Man or Cap, or if you'd missed one of those other entries, coming into this one, they reset or re-explain who they are fast enough and what the stakes are that you don't need to see that movie to be able to jump into this adventure. But they lose sight of that. Like, and then as the more movies that come out, it becomes like the required reading of it all just becomes exhausting.
Yeah. And
like, that's what happened by phase 4, is that we just were exhausted. There were too many new shows to catch up on, and most of it wasn't particularly great, So it's like, it's fun coming back to here, where it's like just the chemistry alone is so good that I'm like, let's I just want to see them hang out more.
Keep these guys around.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I have a lot of homework in the coming weeks.
Yes. Love and Thunder does seem like maybe something to watch, just because
it sounds like it's gonna be important.
There's a specific, it's in you watched the trailer.
I did see
Thor's
that.
daughter. Yep. That's something that is definitely,
apparently that's a thing.
It is a thing. How he has a daughter, I will not tell you.
Okay.
It's not how you think.
It's only because he doesn't understand it.
It's only because because I was waiting for the scene where the stork drops her off.
Yeah,
but it didn't happen.
Yeah. Is this like a Steven Universe kind of thing?
I haven't seen Steven Universe. I don't know what you're talking about.
Even without fully remembering, I feel like just
okay.
Because I actually don't really remember how it happened.
So
in Love
don't
and Thunder.
confirm it, but for those,
I gotta rewatch it.
Steven Universe is his mother basically wants a child, but to do that, she like gives up her life. So she like sacrifices and then cocoons and becomes the child. So it's like Steven is his own mother.
Kind
so
of.
I'm like not looking at you while I say that because I maybe want some surprises, but I think it'd be really funny if that's the situation.
I'm gonna say
I don't really remember, if I'm being honest.
To give you an answer that is also a non-answer. Yes, but also no.
Okay, cool.
No, but also yes.
Got it.
I agree with him.
Yeah,
It's Loki.
I'm not gonna say anything.
No.
But yeah, we'll see kind of how it goes. I mean, I do think, I mean, it's certainly this movie as being there when it came out, like, it made the case for itself. Everybody came out and were like, and I mean, the way that it spawned other cinematic universes, because Hollywood was like, there must be something here. The answer is not a cinematic universe necessarily. It's
no, although we're still getting remnants of that later. I mean, I don't want to spoil the roster, but we're getting another like part of that dark universe is or what is left of it, I guess.
What they've pivoted to doing.
Yeah.
Which I prefer that they're doing.
I kind of prefer this angle more for them.
We'll talk about the dark universe.
Yeah, that's a conversation for later. One thing we didn't talk about, I mean, Doomsday is coming. We've gotten more teasers since the last time we've met.
That is true.
At the time we met,
we got 3 other
all
teasers.
we had was the Captain America will return.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers return. I guess, how are we feeling excitement-wise? For Doomsday? Where are we at?
I'm moderately excited. I would say
like 5 or 6 out of 10, or like
6
3
to 7.
Okay.
My excitement is more focused on the curiosity as to how the fuck they're gonna pull this off. You know, and to their credit, we have asked that question every time.
Yeah.
When Avengers 1 came out, people were saying, how are they going to pull this off?
Yep.
When Avengers 2 came out, it says, can you really capture that magic again? Avengers 3, it's how are you going to put even more characters together? And then Avengers Endgame, it's how are you going to do all this and give a satisfying conclusion? And they managed to do it every time.
They did it.
Yeah, they pretty much did.
Every time.
And
so
that's
like a 4 for 4 on that one.
I do think that it's a little more exasperating now because of the burnout. And that question is now like, because I would say what's harder about Doomsday that was not as hard here is that I think we liked the characters more. We were more connected to those characters. We invested more on those characters. Whereas Doomsday, it's like, we're bringing back the X-Men for nostalgia. So we like the X-Men because we like those.
And because they own them. Like, you can.
True.
Yeah.
But generally, what it seems like, we're not doing those versions of the X-Men. It's just those actors playing new versions of the X-Men.
Yeah.
So we're not necessarily connecting to those characters. It's more those actors.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four, I like, but are brand new.
Yep. Most of the people who are showing up have had exactly like one appearance.
Which Avengers 2012 has that same thing where everyone had about 1 to 2 movies.
True.
But they're coming one after the other. Shang-Chi, I think I brought it up on the last one. Like, he has his movie in 2021. It's only been 5 years, but there have been 40 things that have happened, and his only other appearances are in animated what if episodes.
So it's like
where it's not the same guy. So that is the part that I think is the hardest of like of we're bringing, I mean, Thor we connect with, right? The Wakandans we like, but I do think the loss of Chadwick Boseman still feels like it is like, I like Shuri as a character, and I think Wakanda Forever makes a very good case for her as that character, and I don't think she's not valid in that mantle.
No.
But I think the loss of T'Challa,
the real life portion of it, it's hard,
And talking about kind of the juice of Tony and Steve together, like it felt like T'Challa was gonna be their guy.
Yeah.
And and now that Shuri's the Black Panther, it doesn't feel like they've invested the same amount in her
Yeah.
as they did in T'Challa.
No, well, it's like they were invested heavily in T'Challa. They were invested heavily in Doctor Strange. They were really gunning for Captain Marvel to be one of the anchors. And in their subsequent appearances, like there's been a lot of debate on those movies, whether or not they're good or not, you know, or whether we like these characters. And so
Yeah.
everyone's a little divided about it. Whereas like, even if you were like more Cap over Iron Man, you still generally that like core original group, we were all like, yes, we rally behind them. And so now it's just like, they do have a tall order going into this one. So
yeah, so it's like they have been on the back foot with these questions before. So I'm excited because I do like these. I like Shuri. I like M'Baku. I like the X-Men. I like Steve Rogers. But I am like, what is this movie? Like, we were very clear of Thanos is going for the Infinity Stones, and the Avengers have to stop Thanos from getting all the Infinity Stones. There was a clear understanding of what was happening and what the stakes were. And I have no fucking clue who Dr. Doom is or what he wants.
Yep.
And I'm excited and curious to find out, but I just can't really say definitively how I feel about it because I just don't know.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Dish, any additional thoughts there, or should we jump into score?
I'm good with score.
I've submitted my score.
I
I kind of deliberated with myself about this a little bit, in terms of specifically the quality of film and narrative runway points. So I gave this the full point for rewatchability. I've seen this movie probably 4 or 5 times, 5 or 6 times. I think it's very fun and easy to rewatch, and it is one of those movies that like I'm sure I will show to my kids, you know, when I have them, and talk about what it was like to see it at 12 in the theater, and then them to tell me to shut the fuck up that they don't care. But like, you know, I can and have and will revisit this movie. Quality of film, I thought about giving it a half point just because I do feel like it does underserve some characters, and it does have the benefit of our main characters are already known, so it doesn't have to create any new ground. It just has to let them play. But because this had never been done before, like I'm not even saying that that's a criticism to the movie. Like, it's just like the sheer experiment being successful, and getting to have the movie be about the characters bouncing off of each other and their differences, and you know how they will come together. I gave it the full point. I think it deserves that. The movie. And then in terms of narrative runway, I thought about giving it a half point because I feel like it doesn't offer a lot of like. I'm really interested in like in themes in the world, like, and I think it offers some of that. But also I was like, oh, if the movie just ended here, would I be happy with it? And it's like I would, but also I went back and forth around this, and I realized that no, I think there is a lot to be explored here. And obviously there was a whole phase, a second phase, if you will, that explored the aftermath of this movie. I think they did a really good job setting themselves up for those movies. And phase 2, I think, highly underrated as a phase.
I would agree.
I think 3 gets a lot of, because there's a lot of hype leading into Infinity War. Phase 1 is the beginning of all of it, so it's exciting. Phase 2 I find very underrated.
Right on.
So I gave it the full 3. I gave it 3 out of 3.
Right on. Dish, you want to go next, or should I go?
I think he's gonna send us out.
Oh, that's right. We did say that. I'm bad at listening.
No,
I gave it 3 out of 3 for pretty much everything you just said. I think in terms of narrative runway, that was kind of the only one where I kind of like questioned, like, what does this actual first entry do? But like, even without the post-credit scene, with just the chemistry alone is so like exciting, and these characters are so exciting, and then the world just feels like it's so rich to introduce more stuff that it just feels like I want to know more about what's going to happen. And we've seen like what was going to happen and stuff. And so it's like, even with the benefit of hindsight, it's just that like there is like, I think, precedent to like keep going and keep finding out what happens to them and stuff like that. But yeah, I have it's like everything you just said. There's not much more I could say.
Fair.
I gave it full points. I think for me, honestly, I was borderline half point for quality.
Mm-hmm.
There was some CGI where I was like, man, our portals and lightning have gotten a lot better.
Sure.
But then I was like,
That's
you know
fair,
what?
yeah.
2012. So that's what I was saying earlier. Like, I really wrestled with myself on, do I look at this from 2012 or do I look at it from now? Like, even with the story and hindsight of like the quality of writing. But like, you know what? It was amazing. It's a fantastic movie. When you first saw this, like, no matter what, I feel like you had to have been like, I want more of that. I don't even know what that was. I don't know what the stories are going to be, but I want more of that. And even watching this, I'm like, oh, this is, I think that the road that we're on for some of the movies that we're going to, be watching throughout the year, and even just starting with the Avengers, is going to hype me up for Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whether or not that will be satisfied when we see Doomsday.
We shall see.
Yeah.
We'll
this
find
is
out,
almost
but
its own experiment now, is just to
it's-
see if they can recapture what was so awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting, but
Mhm.
yes, that does mean our first movie for season 2 does get a 9 out of 10. Full points from all of us.
That's pretty good.
Mhm.
So I think that's pretty solid.
Mhm.
Does anyone want to give one of their 3 bonus points? I am going to hold off.
Me too.
I think I will be holding off too.
I was like,
because then I think we'd have to declare it cinema, and that might be too controversial. No.
That's true. It is one of those things. I think it checks off all the boxes, but I'm like, while I find it a very important film for better and for worse in terms
Yeah.
of the landscape of Hollywood,
yeah.
I don't know if I want to put it on our Hall of Fame board.
It's a tough one because I feel like
Despite liking it,
I think we all kind of were like, do I give this a half point or a full point?
Right.
And we ended up teetering and giving it the full point. But it's like, if we're teetering on all those points, like, how do I with confidence give it the
give it a
extra
bonus.
point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, yeah, there's like a lot to be said about that. And like, I thought about quality too. Like, that's where I probably struggled the most with was like 2012 Dave versus,
Now
26 Dave. 2K 26.
26 Daves.
26. There's
26 Daves in this.
Mickey
room.
26.
Yeah. Get ready for the sequel to Mickey 17, 26 Daves.
26 Dave, which is also a loose sequel to the movie Meet Dave with Eddie Murphy.
That's true.
And
And then when the next,
which
the
is a sequel
27th,
to Dave.
and then when it follows just the 27th Dave, which will be called 26 Daves later,
Nice.
I'll see myself out. Thank you very much.
And then the Bone Temple, 27 Daves, the Bone Temple is a porn parody. Watch that at your own risk.
Interesting. All right. That's a creative. They really went to a different creative direction.
I have not seen it, nor am I affiliated with it. It does not have my blessing.
Oh, it's unauthorized.
unauthorized.
Well,
Apparently, it's accurate. No.
AI, man.
that's crazy.
No.
I was
But
going to
yeah,
say
no,
that,
but
for
yeah,
me,
like the difference in the quality and stuff like that. Like I know, like this watch through I had, like I kind of felt like I struggled to like want to stay like engaged with it. But like when that third act hits, I was like 18 again, or how I forget how I was in high school, so I was like about 18 when that came out. So like it's just like I just was like a kid again, basically. Like so it's like it's hard not to like deny, and the fact that I've watched it so many times over the years just proves that it is rewatchable. Like I have rewatched it numerous times, so. Yeah, this is a good movie, and
I think that it's going to be interesting talking about the other ones and rewatching those.
Yeah.
Because obviously, audience, you guys know we're Marvel fans.
Yes.
I'm intrigued to see if I'm going to want to give all of them 3 out of 3.
I'm very excited, not just because it's next week's episode,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm very excited to talk about Age of Ultron because it is the middle child of the movies.
It kind of
100%
is.
it is.
I'll save my.
We'll
thoughts
save it
on
for
this.
then. We'll save it for
we'll
then.
save it for them. But I'm excited. That's the one I think I'm the most excited for out of the bunch.
To break down, yeah.
Because I think it's probably the one that is the most divisive of the Avenger movies.
It is yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, well, we will
Leave
see
it at
what
that,
the conversation
Because
is.
I know you guys will go on forever about it.
We're
Start it.
We're recording another episode after this, and
Hold
it's
back the
not
flood.
Avengers 2. I'm very so I legitimately have no idea what I'm going to say about that when we watch it, and I'm very excited to do that.
Yeah. Same.
Any closing thoughts?
Shawarma.
I'm a little hungry. Yeah,
We can get some
I can go
shawarma.
for that.
Get some shawarma. All right.
Yeah, after that. Well, we got to deal with the demigod that's waiting over there, but
Yeah, and parallel universes and crap.
that's right. And then shawarma after.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Checks out.
Checks out. All right.
So we'll see you guys.
Well, guys,
We'll see you after some shawarma.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Welcome back to season 2.
Watch some more movies. Go watch Age of Ultron in preparation
And
for
let
next
us
week's
know
episode.
what you think. Do you think it needs one more?
Text Dave. What do you think?
Text Dave.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Text.
We'll put
My
his number in
number
the bio.
Yes.
Yes, I do have a meeting with the World Security Council, though, so I do got to
Perfect.
head out,
Okay.
unfortunately. But we'll see you guys next week.
No, see you next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of We Need One More.
Be sure to click on the link for our socials and to subscribe to our Patreon, as those are the best ways to support the podcast.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.